There are few children who are born under a death sentence, few who enter the world beneath such a shadow. In a small, darkened room, I read of such a child. I had heard the story countless times, but now I read it with eyes that hungered, devouring things I had never seen before. It was the biblical account of Moses, born into a Jewish family in ancient Egypt, during a time when all male Jewish infants were ordered by law to be killed at birth. Moses' life was in jeopardy from his first breath. I knew the story. I was familiar with his plight. But this time, as I read, my mind was not centered on Moses, but instead drawn to his mother. I could almost see her in my mind. Desperate to save the life of her condemned child, she appeared before me, her anxious, frenzied mind straining to find a way to spare her child from such a cruel sentencing. I saw her determination mount as she fixated on a plan. I watched her gathering supplies, weaving a basket, covering it with the impermeable substance, stopping momentarily to cast a glance at her sleeping son, and stifling her growing agony. The little basket completed, I beheld her sorrow as she lifted her tiny boy out of his hiding place, feeling the warmth of his body against her own. Then in anguish she placed him inside the basket. I saw her carry the little vessel down to the Nile River, numb with determination. I watched her place the basket into the great river and push it out into the current. "Oh God," her heart would cry, "have mercy on my son. Let him live. Let the basket be found by someone more powerful than I. Let him live." How she could turn her back and walk home, I did not yet understand. I would eventually, but not yet. However, why she did what she did, I fully understood. She did it in hope. However slim, she saw a chance for her child to live. She could not endure the thought of her child dying without raising her hand in his defense. However unlikely the chance, however reckless her actions may have appeared, she had hope that perhaps God would be merciful. Perhaps God would be gracious. Perhaps through some miracle, her son would be victorious. I understood this mother. I could see and feel her passions so easily, because when I lifted my eyes from the pages, there lay another child who had been born under a death sentence. Before me, in a tiny hospital crib, slept my daughter. I too could not endure the thought of her dying without raising my hand in her defense. I too clung to a slim hope that perhaps God would be merciful. Perhaps God would be gracious. Perhaps by the means of some miracle, my daughter would not succumb to her sentence. "Oh God," I prayed, "let her live. Let her be victorious.